Janae Green, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Sarah Mihich.
and we are here to talk about wine about your data. And so thank you for joining us for episode 3.
Yeah.
Can't believe we're 3 in
I know.
already. And just for a recap for all of you, we did data-informed organizations the last episode, and there's 4 components associated with data-informed. Do you want to give us a recap of those 4 components?
Quiz. Clear metrics, data access, data literacy, and leadership buy-in.
That's correct.
Thank
you.
So
today,
A+.
A+. I will give you a grade. Please. Today, we're going to hone in, though, on clear metrics.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we do presentations together, you and I. And we always afterwards are like, we could done a whole presentation on just each one of those components. And so we thought we would go ahead and break it down and do a podcast episode on each one.
Yeah.
So up first is clear metrics. So I have a feeling you love this topic. Maybe more than I do. I don't know.
I think I like all of these topics more than you.
Yeah, but you're bringing me along. So once again, I do love a good clear metric because it really does help us like give the guiding foundational direction of everything we're doing. So with all of that, like fun aside and all the joking aside, I really do love that clear direction that clear metrics give us. So what metrics have you been looking at lately? Like, what does that really look like?
Personally or professionally?
Oh, both. I guess. Maybe give me one personal clear metric.
A personal clear metric. Okay, so I do track habits.
Oh, okay.
I have like a whole tracker. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fun. At least at the end of the day, I track if I did a certain habit.
Give me one habit you've been tracking.
So one habit that I'm tracking is my water intake.
Okay. Yeah.
So the goal, I have a 16-ounce water bottle.
Yeah.
And the goal is to fill it up 4 times within one day. So then that gives me my water intake that I need for the day.
I love that.
Yeah, and checking it off at the end of the day is like, I did it.
So do you just like use an app? Is it like an app?
No, I have an Excel spreadsheet today.
You this gets better by the minute.
I like a clean spreadsheet, and I have other habits that I'm tracking. Like I track my hours of sleep because I don't sleep much, but I like to twins. I have twins, but I like to know. Yeah. Like if I'm grouchy one day, it's because I only slept for 3 hours.
Okay.
It gives me like validation of how I'm feeling.
Okay, so those were the personal clear metrics.
Personal, yeah.
I cannot believe you have a spreadsheet. Literally, I think that might have made my day. Okay.
Things I share, I should not be sharing.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I have apps.
I would say, do you track?
Yeah, I have an app and I have an Apple Watch and I have an Apple phone and I have a lot of things that I track on that. So I guess that's why I went with the app and not a spreadsheet.
There is something satisfying about blocking it off. So like you can
yeah, that's true. I could see that.
Satisfying.
Okay. Well, what other things can we talk about when it comes to the professional side? Now here, let's shift the conversation to more about like clear metrics in a professional setting.
Yeah.
I know you've worked with a ton of organizations to really set the tone for that. So what really goes into crafting a clear metric?
Well, you have to first start with what are you trying to know?
Okay.
You research questions if you want to get like technical. But it's like, what are you trying to understand? What do you want to know? What are you curious about? From there, then you can start identifying what metrics you want to look at.
Okay.
And then you start crafting it out.
Okay. Well, it's interesting. Even before we shot this episode, you and I were talking back and forth a little bit. And I was like, for all of us non-Daddy Sava people, like, what is that a KPI or key performance indicator? Are they the same thing? Are they not the same thing? And so you would say...
I would say that they're basically the same thing.
Yeah. So if you're an organization out there and you're tracking key performance indicators, KPIs, and you have something that you're tracking on a regular basis, like we're kind of talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just wanting to get even clearer and simplify them.
Yeah.
And then have them across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's helpful because I do know a lot of people probably have more of KPI language.
Yeah.
I might have some metrics.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Or outputs, outcomes are also like, I would like your output metrics and outcome metrics.
Okay.
So like, what are you doing? Like, so there's the people you served, the number of programs you offered, and then outcomes is like, what is the change
that you're wanting
to see? So behavior and knowledge, those type of things.
Okay.
And those I would tie in with like your KPIs and clear metrics as well.
Oh,
There's so many terms.
There is so many terms. We need a list.
Is
that
data, and then define them.
Data literacy at its finest.
Yeah. That's what 2 episodes in. 2 episodes in later. Yeah.
So we'll get there. Right?
We'll get there. Let's start with clear metrics.
We'll just start with clear metrics. All right. So we got our research metrics.
Yeah.
And they really do define where we're going.
Yep.
And I guess we have a organization that's on deck that we want to talk about, right? And so one of them is the Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we forgot to mention Clear Metrics should be smart. And we totally forgot that piece.
My bad. All right.
I know. It's fine.
Educate me on
Yeah. So SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.
Okay.
So SMART. They got to be smart. So that's, I don't know, like specific. So like providing as much information in the metric so that you understand what you're trying to measure, right? Like, don't just say, I want to serve number of people. Maybe like, I want to serve number of people in my conferences or my training. Like, be a little bit more specific.
Okay.
Measurable. Have to have a data point in there. I want to serve 20 people into conferences.
Okay.
Right? So like, get that data in there. Attainable. Like, are you even able to reach that number of people? Don't just put a number up there.
Don't make a total guess.
Total guess. Yeah. Be a little educated about it. Relevant. Don't say you're going to measure conferences if you're not going to do conferences.
Right. It has to be
like something that you're actually doing right now. And then timely, when you want to accomplish it. A year, 3 years, 5 years.
Okay.
A month, you know.
And I think we've all done the SMART goal thing. Like,
I think so.
You know, people talk about the SMART framework a lot. And I think that in general, we all get the concept.
Yes.
It's when you have
drafting it
and like getting it down to your organization, the specifics of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then really, I think it comes back to that research question, because a lot of times I think people want to know lots of things. Well, I want to know a lot of things. And I think that's where you guys do a lot of work of really saying, yes, but what is the real why behind what you want to know?
Yeah, don't track something without knowing the why.
And even when we were talking earlier, you were like, you could end up with 100 metrics. You can't do that. We got to scale some things down and stay focused on those like clearer metrics. So like, what do you really want to know?
Yeah. Which then Fort Wayne, Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne, they have this beautiful dashboard, which our amazing consultant Rose built.
Shout out, Rose.
It's beautiful. It's on their website, but Rose worked with them to identify what are we wanting to measure? What do we want to know? And so they created these 5 pillars. I don't have them memorized. Sorry, Rose.
We won't tell on you.
Except it's public and I'm being recorded, Danae.
I know.
Okay, so like one of them is connected community. And so like they have a statement that says, we believe that being an advocate for underserved, instilling pride, and building relationships creates a sense of belonging. And from there, they have identified metrics that they're going to look at and understand where are we at within a connected community. And so then the Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne can then identify where areas that we need to spend more resources on to help build a more connected community. It's really pretty. Like there's participant, like community data. So they do a community-wide survey. And then there's public available data that they also look at.
So it's like a one-stop shop for a lot of data.
Yes.
And a lot of specifically around several topics: connected community, inspiring places, healthy mind and body.
Oh, you have it up too?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
And everyone's economy and lifelong learning.
Yeah.
So the Greater Fort Wayne developed a vision and a strategic plan, and a lot of this came from that. And so my understanding too was like, how do we want to assist the foundation in raising dollars and then distributing funding? And so that was a key piece in this research, was really to help them understand where are they and where are those gaps.
Yeah.
And then where do they want to place that funding, and how do they really build on all of these community elements? So once again, they had a clear vision.
They did.
And then they had their metrics and their data points to kind of help show that moving forward. All right, it's that time of the episode where we do our little wine recap. So today we talked a lot about clear metrics, and they are always SMART metrics.
Yep.
Right? You want to tell us what the SMART stands for?
Oh, you're going to ask me? Okay. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.
That's right.
The wine's getting to me, didn't
I know. That's okay. We'll forgive you.
Yeah,
and once again, though, this is a part of our data-informed organizational culture. And there are 4 components. And so clear metric really is the first one. Do you want me to go ahead and say?
Yeah, you do. Let's see if you know them.
All right. So then it is data access, data literacy, and then leadership buy-in.
Yep.
So that's what we did today around clear metrics. Our next episode will be around data accessibility. So stay tuned for that. With that being said, though, we did talk a lot about the Greater Fort Wayne Community Foundation and their incredible project. They did a lot of work really around data collection, analysis, visualization, a beautiful dashboard to really monitor all those clear metrics, KPIs that they use against their 5 pillars and their strategic plan to really cash that vision for the Greater Fort Wayne area and their new strategic plan. And really how to impact funding and decision-making, right?
Yep.
So all of the key things we keep talking about when it comes to data. So Sarah, though, this is the magical question for all of our viewers out there. What is the one thing that they need to do or take away from this episode?
Go back, look at the data that you're collecting and ask yourself, is it smart? Are your metrics smart? And if they're not, make them smart.
Okay, so there you go, viewers. You just got to make your metrics smart. In the meantime, right? Cheers to you.
Yeah.
Cheers to you all and the important work that you're doing. Continue being awesome transformers.